everyone and welcome to the Learning Ladder. Today we are reviewing Spelling UC. This is American Spirit and this is Level E. This is part 2, so there is a part 1 and a part 2. My daughter is just finishing up the part 1 and then we will be moving into part 2. So we're on our week 18, so this part 2 starts at week 19, that's why I can show you part 2. So it is a 36-week curriculum. It is 5 days a week, and basically what you do is you will have a passage here, and every book is different in terms of what the theme is. So this one is all about things that people have invented, created. So there's also a bit of history in as well, because it goes back in time for how children did certain things in the olden days and everything else. So for example, this is about Sally, who loves physics and English, and she was the first American woman in space. So her name is Sally Ride. And you know, that's basically what it's like. This is Mr. Wright, who was part of the Wright brothers, and he built planes. So it's very interesting, the passages that you get to read about. And as I said, it's different themes. The last time we did Spelling UC, it was Level C, and it was all about animals, and my daughter really liked that. But she has enjoyed learning about all these different inventors and scientists and creators and everything. So that's how it works. You have your little passage here. It'll ask you things that you need to mark. It comes with a pack of coloured pencils, so they'll have to mark, for in this case, bossy R chunks in purple. They'll have to mark vowel chunks, consonant chunks, and anything else that they need them to do. So for example, in some of them they'll ask them to do tricky wag eye, they'll ask them to do silent letters and things like that. So they'll just mark through the passage, and then every day they'll have writing that they need to do from the passage. So they'll write every day, Monday through Wednesday, and then on a Thursday and a Friday. In this book it's different depending on what level you do. In this book it's dictation, so you'll dictate the passage to them, they'll write it, and then they will write it again on day 5. Now we don't do school for 5 days. We do school for 4 days and then Fun Friday. So we only do the fourth day, but that's fine because the 4th day is dictation anyway, and I don't really feel like we have to do it twice. I think it's enough currently for us to just do it the way we do. And that is basically how we use it. Okay, so pros to the curriculum. I love the fact that it's an interesting topic. It's always good if something's interesting, and you're learning something as well as just doing spelling. So that's definitely a pro for me. The fact that it's visual in terms of you're taking your colored pencils to mark what you need to find. It's interesting, it's challenging to find them. You know, where are they? It makes you really look closely at the words, which you probably wouldn't do if you were just reading necessarily. So I really like that aspect of it. I do like the fact that each day it's a different section of the paragraph that you're writing. So you know, you're not writing the same thing every time, and you're getting the different spellings in. And it does work. It really, really does work. When I first got Level C, I was, does this even work? You know, does it actually work? But I do really think it actually is useful. I think it actually makes them notice patterns in words a lot more than they would if they were just doing a regular list spelling program. And I do think it makes a difference. Okay, so those are all my pros. Cons, the only con I have is that there are 2 days of dictation. I much liked the other one, C, where they did a different activity on one of the days. So in book C, on one of the days, they got to write their own story based on the spelling words, or draw a picture based on the spelling words. I think that was in the previous one before that. So I really like that aspect, and I feel like with this one they just, you know, it was where they changed it to 2 days of dictation and not any other kind of activities. That's my only con, but you know, it's not the end of the world, and it wouldn't stop me from buying it again in the future at all. I just liked that 4th day to be something different, because what we used to do when it was like that, so we just double up. So she draw the story, and then later on in the day we do the dictation in terms of getting it through up for 4 days as opposed to 5. So you know, it wasn't a big deal for me to do the 2 in one day. So I like the fact that there was a different activity on the 4th day. But you know, that's the only con I have, that they didn't have that in Level E. They might have just felt like it was necessary to do the second day, because the way they separated out the 2 dictation days was 4th day was dictation with help if you needed it, and then the 5th day was supposed to be dictation without help. So that's how they differentiated between the 2 days of dictation. But I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was necessary to do 2 days of the dictation. I would have preferred a different activity on the 4th day to the 5th, but that's my only con, and it wouldn't put me off. If the next level up was exactly the same, I would still happily get it, if you know it's not that much of a problem. So yes, that's my review of Spelling UC Level E. So thanks so much for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them below. Take care. Bye for now.